Welcome back to APUSH in under 3 minutes. No time for intros, let's get into it. Hello there, to start this video, I want to flash back to my final Unit 5 video where I said this.
Reconstruction was the US's first attempt at civil rights, and it failed miserably. But the 14th and 15th Amendments didn't go away. They became the legal foundation for the civil rights movement 100 years later.
So yeah, it's finally 100 years later and it's time to talk about the civil rights movement. So let's look at a typical group of Black Americans in the 1950s. You might be surprised to know this, but at this time, blacks were legally forced to go to separate schools, use different bathrooms and water fountains, sit in the back of buses, and were often blocked from voting, certain jobs, and even neighborhoods, all because of the color of their skin. So now, a lot of black soldiers fought for freedom in World War II, and then they come back to legally sanctioned segregation at home. This was not sustainable anymore. So the big African American rights organization, the NAACP, went for a very specific strategy to combat segregation. And that strategy was challenging segregation in courts, with a big lawyer in this regard being Thurgood Marshall. And this will all lead to our three branches of government acting, albeit at different times. In the executive branch, Truman will desegregate the military. In the judicial, the very important Brown versus Board of Education case happens, which declared school segregation as unconstitutional, meaning it overturned Plessy v. Ferguson's separate but equal doctrine. And finally, in the legislative branch, the Civil Rights Act of 1957 was passed. It was pretty weak and didn't really do much, but it is symbolic as the first civil rights law since Reconstruction. So now we see this civil rights movement expand. For example, courts became key battlegrounds for arguing civil rights. And obviously we have our two main civil rights organizations, and who can forget the lady who refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus? That's right, Rosa Parks. Claudette Colvin. Oh, and I guess Rosa Parks also did it too. After Rosa Parks got arrested for not giving up her bus seat to a white man, the black community in Montgomery responded by boycotting the entire bus system, causing it to lose a lot of money, with a key figure growing here being Martin Luther King Jr. This would lead to bus segregation being ruled unconstitutional in Browder v. Gale. And finally, in Little Rock, Arkansas, 9 black students enrolled at a previously all-white high school. The governor of Arkansas didn't like this and tried to block these students from entering school by sending in the National Guard to block them, and violent racism erupted as crowds protested their entry. So despite Brown v. Board ruling segregation illegal, Arkansas didn't care. So President Dwight D. Eisenhower had to act. So what he did was take control of the National Guard away from the governor of Arkansas, and even sent his own troops to ensure the students could enter the school safely. On the screen now are AP-style questions for this topic. Pause now. I'll put the answers on the screen now. I will see you in the next one.